2022, and Katie is recovered from COVID.
Wait a second. I don't think we're hi. I don't think we're live.
There we are.
Oh, there we are. Hi again.
Hey guys, so welcome. We're back. Another episode of Conscious Straight Talk with Katie and Lindsay. I'm so happy you're back.
Yes.
From your little COVID quarantine. What are they calling it? A quarantinecation?
A quarancation.
Quarancation.
It was not a vacation. But anyways, I've been sick for a few weeks, and my whole family got it, but I survived. No hospitalization or any of that. But everybody is getting it, so be careful. So anyways.
And the Omicron one is on.
That's what I had.
That's
what I had. I know I had it because I didn't lose taste or smell or anything like that. So I'm alive. My family's alive, and you know,
this is a new year. We have so many exciting topics coming up this year.
That's right. Happy 2020. Happy 2022.
And this is a big year for me because 22 is a very huge number for me. I was born on the 22nd. 22 is in my phone number. It's been in a lot of my addresses over the years. Like the number follows me. So I think we've both put in our dues. Probably a lot of us over the last 5 or 6 years have put in our dues with all this hard stuff.
Yes.
So I just totally believe that this year is going to be magical and amazing, and so many good things are going to happen.
Yes, and it'll be awesome if COVID stops, you know.
I don't think it's going to stop. But everybody's dealing with it, and hopefully we'll get more comfortable dealing with it, and our hygiene will all get better, and
that's true. And the environment will be better because you know what? We're closing down here in Ventura County.
Yeah, I heard a lot of places are.
3 weeks. No, they're forcing it. 3 weeks! Yay! Okay.
Just as you get off your quarantine.
That's exactly. I stay in my quarantine again.
Yeah. So, but anyway, today we wanted to talk to you guys about setting intentions because I know it's a hot topic right now among all of, among everybody. We're all setting new goals, New Year's resolutions, making these long lists, and I wanted to kind of come up and tell you guys.
Don't make the long lists.
I want to give
just
you
1 or 2.
a new option.
Yes.
This is something I've been utilizing in my practice I did it myself for the first couple of years, and it worked so well. I use this with my clients, and it's a little bit of a different concept because I do find when we set these long lists and put all these goals that we want to do on January 1st, by January 15th, most of us are already stressed out and have forgotten.
Okay, well, let's just say, you go to the gym on January 1st or January 2nd, and it's filled with people, and then it's February, 10th. Nobody's there.
No one's there.
And
I find, those lists are not as effective as we'd like them to be.
No, they're not.
And so years ago, I heard of this concept called the one-word concept. Have you heard of this before?
Well, I've heard of it from you.
It's an amazing concept. I didn't come up with it, but I learned it 7 or 8 years ago. I implemented it myself for 2 years, and then I was so pleased with how it worked and how powerful it was for me instead of setting these long lists that I use this with my clients. Now, the one-word concept is simply, it's challenging yourself to pick one word that will motivate and guide you throughout the year.
Which is hard, by the way, to pick one word because, we have a couple things that we want to do usually.
Right. But with a couple of things that you want to do, you want to set one intention that will guide you
your number one goal. Your number one goal. Yeah. They could be all different. They could be all different things. So you want your number one goal, right?
Well, goals are going to be a little different than your intentions. This word will help you set your goals.
Okay, got it.
This is a word that will guide you with who you want to be, where you want to be, the type of person that you're intending, that you want to be. So you come up with one word. And
just so you know, by the way, on Wednesday we're going to teach you how to follow through.
Yep, how to utilize this one intention word throughout the year.
Word.
Yep, we're going to talk about that. But today we're so excited. It's a new year. We want to share our intention word with you guys.
Yes.
And motivate you guys to go choose your own. And then when we come back on Wednesday, I hope that you'll put your intention word in the comments so we can talk about it. And we're going to really address how to utilize that particular word. But today, I know you've picked an intention word. Do you want to share it?
She made me. It's my intention word is health. It's not that I am not this consciously, no, that's not the right word. It's not that I don't focus on health, because I do. I probably over-focus on it. But because of COVID, I do Pilates, and because of COVID, I stopped going to Pilates because it had shut down, opened up, shut down, whatever. And to be honest, so my goal is to start going back. 2 or 3 times a week. I'm not going to kill myself. I used to go 5 times a week. Not going to do that. Not going to set something that's unrealistic.
There were some, but to get to that word health, there were some things that happened last year.
Well, is what I was. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I have not just last year. In a couple of years.
Yeah.
I have had 5 best friends that have gotten cancer starting in their late 30s to early 40s, and they're best friends. So it's been really hard for me because I'm very empathetic and it's so hard for me to see my friends struggling.
Yeah.
And so it's always something that's in the back of my mind. So, in regards to...
I think you've also had some family health stuff going on, and then you've
been
sick with
I forgot
COVID.
about that. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of been all around you, and I was really impressed when you came out and you were like, I'm going to pick health as my intention word this year, because that doesn't just mean, oh, let's go to the gym and let's eat healthier, right? That's being more conscious.
Those were the 2 things that I...
Well, those are 2 new goals that you have for this year, but the intention to stay healthy will help you continue those goals or stick to those goals because of all the backstory that you have going on and the health scares that you may not be facing, but others around you are facing, and that's causing you to look inward.
Yes, and that's very true. I mean, yes. And so my other, but not being hard on myself with the Pilates. And I have to say one other thing, because of COVID, so many of us, I know that I have been doing telehealth as a therapist and not going into the office very often. And so there's some social anxiety about going back to a group class. I also am fearful that I'm not going to be able to do anything because I don't have an ounce of a muscle left, but that's okay. But it's the fear. So I have to get over that fear and just go a couple times a week. Like I said, don't want to be unrealistic. Don't want to say 7 days a week because I'm setting myself up for failure. And then the other thing that I need to do is I am a pretty healthy eater. I'm not perfect, and nobody should be perfect because that's not normal. And we'll talk about eating disorders because I'm an eating disorder. I'm an eating disorder specialist. Yeah. So I don't believe in this, things are off limits and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe in that. But mine is to stop ordering DoorDash because I order it like twice a day, and it's become a little bit expensive, and it's probably not that healthy, even though I try to get it to be healthy, but they add a lot of stuff, So I want to start meal planning and doing, let's just say, a lentil soup that lasts for 3 nights for dinner. I know most people don't like lentil soup, or a lot of people don't, but I have a thing for lentil soup. So just planning and actually executing it. So those are my one is health, and then those are the 2 things that I'm going to do to get to health. And one other thing, I need to stop worrying about health constantly. I need to stop
and set it has the intention to be healthy.
Yes.
So we're not going to worry about what's going to happen. We're going to stay healthy and create situations in our own bodies that will keep us on that healthy path.
And what does worrying do? It just makes you sick.
And likewise, we did have a quick discussion beforehand. When you set these intentions and you want to eat healthy and you kind of fall off the bandwagon a little bit
for a few minutes. This is so important.
There are some people, there's some people that will stay off and just, screw it, I'm done.
That's most of us. That's most of us. Yeah. Let me just say something. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I kind of enjoy cutting you off. No, I'm just saying. But here's the deal. Here's the problem with us human beings is we decide that we're going to do something. Okay, I'm going to go on a diet. I don't believe in diets either, but we'll talk about that later. I'm going to go on a diet.
It's something that people commonly say.
It's something that's constantly in the news and that everybody talks about, especially women. Okay, so I'm going to go on a diet. Okay, so you do this diet perfectly, and then you make some chocolate chip cookies and eat the whole batch. I'm only saying that because that's my favorite dessert, and I do eat the whole batch. Okay, so then you go, oh my gosh, I fell off the bandwagon. I fell off my diet. Well, you know what? Then I'm going to go hit up C's Candy, Sprinkles. I'm going to go to the gelato store, whatever. It's like over. And you know what? Don't beat yourself up. It's normal to fall off the bandwagon. It's okay. So you ate, I don't even want to say a screw up. So you ate the whole batch of chocolate chip cookies. Okay. So then just get back on the bandwagon and continue your healthy eating trend, not dieting. I hate dieting. Hate the word.
Like a walk or something to balance that out.
Yeah, well, something.
I always tell my kids, I'm like, if you're going to eat some kind of nasty chips or something, eat an apple with it.
Okay. So an apple with my whole thing of chocolate chip cookies.
It'll help your digestive process anyway.
Well, that's good. Then I can get rid of them.
Okay. But I think that's a great intention to have. And like I'm saying and trying to communicate to you guys is that it's an intention. So as you're going through these whole processes, she wants to be healthy. She's going to remember, this is how I felt. There's a whole reason why I created this idea, this one word. And that will carry and kind of boost you, motivate you to get into the gym.
And like I said,
more.
I mean, obviously I've had COVID, so that hasn't been fun. So what is yours?
Okay, so I started this in 2015, and I've had so much success from it. I just want to go over really quick the process, because it's really, if you look back at the years, which I love to do, I just did this in December, I look back, I take the intention where I look at the experiences I had that year and the choices I made, and I realize how much that one word did influence me.
That's great.
When I started, I chose believe. That was 2015. In 2016, I chose leap. And that, before I knew it, before I knew that had happened, well, because I'd started this business, I wanted to try all these new things, and little did I know that my life would change that year.
With what?
That summer, I leapt and I got divorced.
Oh.
I left a very
abusive
situation.
I got divorced in the same year.
Yeah. So
no, just kidding. We didn't.
Better lives.
I mean, I didn't want that.
But, you know, and I realized that it was that intention. I set that in the leap, Lindsay. Go as far as you can go. Protect yourself. And I
were
really
you able
did that.
to do that even like during the divorce? Like,
it was amazing. I just kept thinking, like, leap, keep going
just
forward.
Keep going forward.
Yeah. The next year was trust for me, because I really struggled with trust.
Understandably so,
really
from the divorce.
As a lot of people do.
So did I.
And it was just a scary, hard process, and I had lost my ability to really even trust myself.
I think that's the most important with the divorce, is trusting yourself.
Yeah.
You start to,
the following year, I chose resilient, because I needed to remember that I could get back up and get on my feet, and I was strong. And I didn't at that time. And yet I sent that word, or set the word at the beginning of the year, and I thought, you're going to be resilient. And any time I felt like giving up, no, Lindsay, you're resilient. You can do this.
And here's the deal. With divorce comes, not always with most people, but not always with everybody, but with most people, you're going to get depressed. Let's face the facts. You're going through a huge life change.
Right.
So that's a perfect word for that.
And then the following year, I chose thrive, because it was time to get up and really just put all the puzzle pieces together.
They say 4 or 5 years, just so you know, to get over a divorce, and that's true.
It does take a while.
I say 5.
2020 was acceptance for me. I had to accept my new situation. I had to relearn life as a 40-year-old single woman with 2 children.
I had to do the same, but with 3 children.
And so I used that word acceptance when I'd get really angry and just accept it, Lindsay. This is where we are.
And we just have to move forward.
And then I picked communicate for last year, which I'm still working on.
She's still working
I'm the worst person to answer my phone.
So wait, answer the phone and text messages?
No, I'm a good texter, but answering the phone.
Are you?
Sometimes.
Okay. She's so
But I did get better.
Yes.
I definitely did get better. And this year, so for the last 4 or 5 months, something that's really been on my mind is I just have felt like a total doormat. I created a situation where, you know, there's some few people taking advantage, and I just always say...
Are you a people pleaser? And do you want to say here yes?
No.
Okay, I'm the same way, and I want to say that I think, as I will say this because I know this as a therapist, is that women were taught by society to be pleasers, to say yes, and to be good and sweet and blah, blah, blah. And so it's really hard for us to learn to be assertive. Not aggressive, not mean, whatever else, but assertive.
That's a perfect word.
Yeah, but assertive to say, no, it's okay. That doesn't feel right. And it's okay also to say yes, and then recognize in your gut, wait, no, yes is the wrong word. And to come back and say, you know what, I thought about it, and I'm actually, I don't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah. And it's true. So this year, I've chosen the word strength. So that in those moments when I just feel like it's just people pleasing and saying yes, no, I'm a strong person. I can get through these things. And I also kind of attribute this in a little bit of a different avenue. I find a lot of strength in surrendering. I find a lot of strength in accepting and in forgiving. And, you know, you hear the word surrender, and there's a lot that's attached to that word. People always think, oh, failure, surrender. I don't feel that way, and I want to attach it to strength.
Yes.
Because I'm surrendering my old life and my old ways, and I'm acknowledging that didn't work for me.
Yeah. And just so you know, with her strength, she's also joining a bodybuilding competition.
No,
totally kidding. Totally kidding. I just thought that went well.
So that's my intention word for this year. Health, strength. We want to know what you guys are thinking now. So let us know in the comments. And we're going to be back on Wednesday. We're going to talk about utilizing this word.
Yes.
And that process throughout this year.
How we actually, how we utilize, how we,
So we will see you guys. Give us a like, come on, comment. We want to hear from you guys,
and we'll see you on Wednesday.